Are you stressed about making food for your baby to eat? Does it feel like time consuming and you're sometimes like, is this even worth it? Hi, I'm Ferraro, registered dietitian specializing in baby-led weaning and a mom of 7. In this video, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite cooking tips for making safe foods for your baby to eat. Okay, let's get started with some of the obvious pitfalls when it comes to making food for your baby. First up, they used to just drink milk. And that was easy, right? You were breastfeeding or pumping breast milk or offering formula out of a bottle. And now you're telling me that I need to make food for my baby? Well, one of the benefits of baby-led weaning is that you don't need to buy commercial baby foods. And your baby can eventually learn to eat modified versions of the same foods that the rest of the family does. But that doesn't happen right away, and here's why. When your baby is just starting out with solid foods at 6 months of age, they do not have their pincer grasp, meaning your baby cannot pick up small pieces of food. So while I know it may feel safer to cut up food really small for your baby, it's really not, especially early on in eating. The safest shape of foods to offer for baby-led weaning are soft strips of food cut into pieces about the size of your adult pinky finger. Sure, this works great for obvious, easy starter foods like avocado, banana, and sweet potato. But what about when you're doing things like whole grains? How can early eaters pick up those small foods and safely feed themselves? Well, that's where fritters fill the gap. You can put almost any food into a fritter or a patty or a fried cake that babies can safely eat. I use fritters for whole grains and ground meats and lots of random vegetables. If you're new to baby-led weaning, I have a top-rated parenting podcast called Baby-Led Weaning Made Easy. One of the most downloaded episodes we've ever had is called How to Make Fritters for Self-Feeding Babies. I'm gonna put the link up if you want to learn more about fritters. But here's the deal, fritters are fried and frying foods is messy. This is where my mini loaf pan saves the day. If you're into food prepping for your baby, you have got to get one of these mini loaf pans. It's basically a rectangular muffin tin. Now, why not just use a regular muffin tin, Katie? Well, I mean, you can really bake any fritter batter that you would otherwise fry in a regular muffin tin, but muffin tins are round. So when you go to cut the strips about the size of your adult pinky finger for your baby, you end up wasting a lot and you end up with all these little pieces that your baby can't eat. With the mini loaf pan, you prevent that problem. So this is my mini loaf pan. It's actually massive and maxi. I have 7 kids and they eat a ton, but my sister, who has 6 kids, she's the one that turned me onto this. And it works great for bigger kids, for whatever you're making for them, but I have fallen in love with the mini loaf pan for baby-led weaning. The way I use this pan for baby-led weaning is that for any fritter batter I would otherwise fry, I will bake it as a cleaner and easier alternative. All you have to do is grease the loaf pan, that's key, so the stuff you're making for the baby doesn't stick. And I always use egg in my fritter recipes, which acts as a binding agent to kind of keep all of the ingredients stuck together. So for most fritters, I'll bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for as long as needed until the egg is set and cooked through, usually about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'll cool it, cut the baked food into strips about the size of my adult pinky finger, and then I'll offer that to the baby out of a silicone suction mat or bowl. Now, what if your baby doesn't eat egg? Here's the deal with egg. It is one of the big 9 allergenic foods. And those are the 9 foods that account for about 90% of food allergy. And we want to introduce these to babies early and often. But if your baby is already allergic to egg, or if you don't eat animal foods because your family is vegan, let's say, you can do a chia seed substitute in place of egg in your fritter batter. And here's how that works. Take 1 tablespoon of chia seed, flax seed also works, and mix that with 3 tablespoons of water. Stir to combine and let it sit for about 5 minutes or so until it gelatinizes. Basically, the chia seed mixture will be the consistency of egg white. And then you combine that chia seed mixture with your other fritter ingredients. The chia seed there equates to about 1 egg. I've done this a million times. To be honest, the chia seed does not work as well as egg for holding everything together, but if you can't feed egg, then it's good in a pinch. If you want more info about how to safely prep foods for babies, and if you've got an hour, I do have a longer free online video training called Baby-Led Weaning for Beginners. Again, it's 1 hour long, but I'm gonna walk you through how to make the baby-led weaning food safe. Plus, I give everybody on this free training a copy of my 100 first foods list, so your baby can safely eat 100 foods before turning 1, and you'll never run out of ideas of foods to feed. You can sign up for this week's workshop times at babyledweaning.co, or the registration link is also in the video description. While you're waiting for that workshop to start, go get yourself one of these mini loaf pans and let me know in the comments what sort of baby foods are you cooking up in it.